Welcome back. So, folks, it is July 1st. It is hot everywhere. So, summer is all on us, which means it's going to end sometime soon. And you'll want to be with me come October the 8th when the Rufus Williams Travel Club heads to Charleston, South Carolina. Right now, as we look at the founding of this country 250 years ago, it's good to see it from the other side. There's a lot of history in South Carolina, particularly in Charleston, and we're going to explore all of it. Many of you have already told me that you're planning to go on this trip. I need you to go to WVON.com, check on the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner, and register. We need to know for real who's going to do it. Also, I'm going to start making calls to each of you individually. My guest now is Nuala O'Connor. She is a technology, policy, privacy, cybersecurity, and AI governance expert with experience across Walmart, Amazon, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Center for Democracy and Technology. AI is here, which also adds in a number of cybersecurity risks. And who else to talk to about this? Than Nuala O'Connor. Nuala, good morning. Welcome to WVON. And you look just like your picture.
Thank you so much, I think. And to be here. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
No, it's good to have you. Talk to us about this because AI it was here all the time, but it took on a whole different level over the last couple of years. And we have to know that also increases security risk. Talk to us about that. What's going on?
I'm so glad you framed it that way because you're absolutely right. AI has been around for decades, actually. It's been powering our airplane engines, our food safety mechanisms. Lots of things are powered by AI already. All that means is automated decisioning, a computer program that runs in the background and makes decisions really, really quickly. Why it's in the news now and why we're all thinking about it this year is it's suddenly become consumer grade. Things like ChatGPT and Claude and all of these really fun to use programs that are now in your hands as an individual really unleash a lot of power for individuals, but also a lot of risk, as you point out. And so some of the news right now are that governments are saying to our own companies and companies in other countries, no, you can't sell that model. No, you can't export that technology out of the country. I think the real risks for us as individuals are to think about which companies we're doing business with and are we with who they are and where they're based.
Are we not paying enough attention to this? I mean, so much is happening so fast. Are we getting distracted by other things and not thinking enough about privacy and security?
Thank you for that, since I've been thinking about privacy and security most of my career, so I appreciate the call out. Yes, you're absolutely right. As individuals, as companies, as countries, I think what's prompted some of this conversation this week the announcement by the Five Eyes. And for folks who are listening or watching, the Five Eyes are five allies, the US, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. This is a very prominent security alliance. And the cybersecurity leads of those countries have said AI is a risk to you, the country, the company, the individual. We all need to be more vigilant. We all need to work together. And what that means is responsible governance. Governments need to set boundaries. Responsible companies need to do the right thing with information, with data, with their own technology, and who they sell it to or put it in the hands of.
You know, Nuala, for a lot of reasons right now, we don't have a lot of faith in our government. And given that, and given what the exposure is here, what should we be doing? Who should we be talking to? What can we continue to push to make us safer?
That is such a great question. And I completely agree that we've all lost a lot of faith in institutions, in particular in government. I think start locally. I think there is a huge local impact with AI, which means data centers being built, energy being used, impact perhaps on vulnerable communities who could be taken advantage of when big plots of land or big swaths of energy are being used up. And talking to your local government, I think people still feel pretty good about their people who are closest to them, their local government, maybe less so the farther away it gets in Washington or elsewhere. I'm concerned, again, on impact on human beings, on their lives. The thing to know about cybersecurity is, again, it's not just some IT guy sitting in a room somewhere running a computer. It impacts hospitals and water systems and aircraft engines and airports. Our daily lives are impacted when cybersecurity is done wrong. And so I'd be, again, asking your local community leaders, asking your local government and state government leaders what they're doing, talking to your members of Congress if you have that opportunity, looking at what kind of companies you're doing business with and making sure that you are comfortable with, again, where they're located in the world. Do you feel comfortable with the ethics and the governance of that company? Because companies have a huge role to play here, almost equal to the government, because that's where the AI is being built and that's where the AI is being used.
Look, we've got so much technology at our fingertips today that we don't even know how to use. I know that I don't know all the things that my iPhone does. Yesterday, I couldn't even figure out these headphones. They've got an they've got an on-off switch. I never had that before. But we've got so much technology that's there that we're giving up information or allowing us to be less safe just because of what we don't know. I recall when the leaders of the AI companies were saying to the government that guardrails needed to be placed around. So while all these things are happening and all this information is being collected and all this, and we're just vulnerable to everything, if there is something you could tell us to do every day, what would that be?
Oh, great question. Thank you so much for asking. I do believe individual action can make a difference. It's not the only thing to do, but start with your own home computer and your own devices. As you point out, set your passwords. Make sure you've got passwords on everything. Use a password vault, something like a LastPass or some of the other products, because it's hard to remember. I forget my password, and you don't use the same password over and over and over again on all of the websites you do business with. Limit the amount of information you give. You do not have to hand out your telephone number. I was offended when the grocery store the other day said, what's your phone number? Like, you don't need to know that to sell me this, banana. So be judicious. And I could go on and on for hours about teach your children. That doesn't mean say you can't use it, because they are going to use computers in their daily lives, at school, at work, wherever. It means teaching them the rules early. No names, no personal information, no addresses, no phone numbers, no talking to strangers online. The same rules apply online as offline. You want to create a boundary around your kids and your family. It starts with making sure that the devices in your home also have those same boundaries.
These smart homes, as well, as you talk about that, it's hard for us. It's just hard to stay safe in this current environment because so much information is out there. And we hear about some cases that happen where where things happen. The information that you're giving is so critically important, but even after you give it, it's still somehow, now we're knowledgeable about it and we don't walk around knowing each day that we can be unsafe. But the reality is, as you pointed out, a lot of things can happen to our energy supply, our water supply, our power grids that can really cripple the entire country and can cripple people if we're not careful in looking out at all of these things.
Absolutely. And that's why it needs to be a public-private partnership. Companies bear a lot of responsibility here because they're running a lot of these grids and a lot of these important facilities for our daily lives. And the government, you're absolutely right, has to be responsible and set responsible, rational, stable boundaries for the states, for the country, that let companies know what's expected of them and let individual citizens know that we are safe. You're 100% right.
So when we think about this now and thinking about national security in this whole environment, who should we be? Should we be talking to our representatives? Should we be talking to our congresspeople? Should we be talking to our state representatives? Should we be talking to everyone to ensure that this is higher on the list of priorities?
Absolutely. You are 100% correct. Government at all levels are using these technology tools, are selling and buying these technology tools. Their systems should be safe. They should be setting standards that make sure your lives are safe. And also, again, scrutinizing what companies they are doing business with and that they are allowing to do business in our country. And yes, also what you allow into your own home, physically, the hardware, what kind of smart home devices, and also the software on your computer, on your phone. You want to be vigilant about all of it. And also, it's a lot to ask an individual to be mindful of all of that. You want to make sure your representatives are at least savvy about AI and neither overly afraid or overly kind of bamboozled and excited about it. It's a tool. It can be used for good. It can be used for not so good, just like the internet 1.0 and 2.0 and every industrial and physical revolution we've had in this country. This is a change and it needs to be governed and thought about very seriously.
Nuala, are the other countries in the Five Eyes ahead of us?
No, I wouldn't say that. And I think we do still have a very leading AI sector in this country and a terrific group of individuals who are serving in government and in the cybersecurity agencies and the NSA, who are dedicated civil servants and public servants. I think we are all in this together. I think the call from the Five Eyes this week was a call to action really for companies in these countries to say, you have some responsibility as well. And this has become a cyber defense and almost a cyber warfare issue of we need to use the AI tools defensively to make sure our systems are safe and know that they're going to be used to attack us as well.
Nuala O'Connor, AI privacy and online safety expert. Thank you so much for sounding the alarm with us here today. Where can people go to get more information?
I would start with the CISA agency, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, which is part of the Department of Homeland Security. The National Security Agency has this statement on their website. And then lots of good cybersecurity organizations will provide you free information about how to set your own settings and your own home safety and security for your systems. And then check out what your companies that you're doing business are saying in their privacy statements and their terms of service, and be mindful of the things that you're downloading on your phone.
Thank you so much for your studies, and thanks for coming on and sharing your intelligence with us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, be well. We'll be back with more right after this.